Hi FlossTube, this is Kathy, the Kentucky Woman Stitcher, and I'm back for my 4th video. I want to welcome back all of my subscribers, and if you are a new viewer, I want to welcome you too. Thanks for joining. I've moved my location for videoing. The others were filmed in my craft room upstairs, and it's actually just a little cubby, and I always felt like I sounded like I was in a cave. So I've moved it downstairs to the kitchen, hoping that it won't sound so echoey. You still may hear some different sounds that you're not used to, like the washing machine or the refrigerator or something like that, but maybe this will sound better than the other ones. So I want to go ahead and get started and show you some of my finished products and some of my whips and of course acquisitions. But the first thing I want to do is tell you that I actually do know the difference between a snapdragon and a dragonfly. I don't know why I called that a snapdragon in my last video. I suppose it could have been because my husband and I had been outside looking at our flowers, and we have a lot of snapdragons, and so it just stuck in my mind. But actually I do know the difference. So the first thing I want to share with you is my October basket. I actually have a basket. I've got a display basket. So here it is. It's just a basket that I found. I put a little doily that my mother had crocheted for me. I've got that hanging in there. And then I put some of this shredded up paper that you can buy at Dollar Tree or Hallmark or Walmart or wherever you might find it. And then I just put some pillows, little pillows in there. So there's 2 in there that I haven't shared with you before, and I want to talk with you about those. The first one is called Shades of Autumn by Scissortail Designs. And it gives you 2 color choices. This is an overdyed floss. What was it called? Oh, well, I can't. Oh, it was Gloriana Tudor Silk Flowers of Italy is what this one is. And then this was a little kit, and it came with these colors. Dirt Road, Moss, and Whiskey. So I stitched that, and I finished it as a little tuck pillow. You can see there's some little acorns there in the middle and on the side, and the bottom part of these acorns were stitched 1 over 1. And then I just chose some fall fabric for that and made cording. Okay, the other one is something I was working on in my last video. It's Lizzie Kate Autumn Smalls, and I was working on the autumn pillow. And I finished that and fully finished it into this little pillow. I added rickrack, and I made a little yo-yo and put a button on it. I borrowed this idea from Sylvia at Becky's Land. Hi, Sylvia. And then I sewed on some mini pom-pom trim. And I have found a wonderful way to do this pom-pom trim, because trying to sew it in there is just can drive you insane. So I was watching a Kathy Haberman video, and she was talking about putting mini pom-pom trim on something, and that she found out from a friend that you can actually separate the pom-poms from the stuff that you sew in. So let's see if I can show you. See these little things here that connect the pom-pom to the base of it. They just pull apart, and you can just pull them out, and then when you have gotten however much you wanted, you can cut it and you end up with a piece that looks like this. And then you can just tack it onto your pillow like you do cording. Makes it so much easier than trying to sew it in the seam. So I was thankful to find that out. And then I have this backing fabric, and I used that backing fabric to make the little yo-yo. But I think that's cute. I like that. Then I have something else I was working on in my last video. This was the October monthly sampler from Little House Needleworks. Stitching that, and I did get that finished. And I actually made it into a flat fold with cording. This is the fabric I chose. It was just a batik print, but I thought it looked really autumn, so I thought it would go with this very well. So I'm happy with that. Then from my first video, you may remember that I was working on some pumpkins that I had found in Just Cross Stitch. There was 3 of them. There's 2 that's from the October 2016 issue. These 2. And then I pulled one from the 2016 Halloween issue. This one. And I was making a little pillow. Well, I finally got those finished. And here's my little pillow. It's stitched on 28 count Rivera gingham check in celery and white. And I added some little fall leaves here above the pumpkins. I thought there was too much empty space there. And once again, I used the mini pom-pom trim that I had separated from its base. And this is the fabric that I used on the back. A nice fall pillow. Doesn't look Halloween. I didn't want a Halloween one. I just wanted something that looked fall. And I think that does. And it sits right up there on top of this little cabinet thing. I have some Halloween things that I have stitched in the past, and I wanted to share those with you since October is the month of Halloween and everyone seems to love Halloween so much. This one was a freebie from Shepherd's Bush, and I believe now it's actually a chart that you can purchase. But I got this in, let's see if there's a copyright date on it. I don't see one. But anyway, it's Halloween Grins. And I stitched that on the Newport linen, the cream with the tan lines, and I made it into a pillow. This is black, and it's got some little swirlies on it, and then I chose to use purple here, and I made some piping. And there's the Frankenstein base button, and then I put some orange and black ribbon on it. And the back is a Halloween plaid. I think that turned out pretty cute. These little things are not the easiest to get lined up right. You have to kind of work with it. But I like that. The next one is from the 2012 Halloween issue. And it's this Eek by Stitch Kitty. And I stitched that on a 32 count Jobelin Da Vinci, I believe is the name of it, and it's from Picture This Plus. And then I made it into a double flange pillow. So we've got the orange swirlies here, and then this is just some purple fabric. I did also use some of the purple. It's really hard to see, but there's a little trim in there with some purple. And then I used green cording that matches the stems on the pumpkin. And I put a little green bow with the bat button here. So I think that's cute. Then I have just some, I have two more little autumn pillows, or little autumn ornaments. These were freebies, and I tried to find the pattern for them, but I couldn't locate it. I don't know what I've done with it. But it's stitched with a variegated Karen water lilies. I think the name of it's Fiesta. And then there's that little acorn button right there in the middle. So, and then I just used some fall fabric. And I used some, this is kind of sparkly, I used some Krennic braid that I had gotten somewhere that was kind of an orangey color. And I made the cording out of that and then used a bead at the top. I'm not sure who that design is by. I know it's probably from the 1990s at least. And then here's another one. I could not find the pattern for this one either, but it's just some autumn leaves, and I added some little tiny buttons to fill in some of the negative space. And a bow. This is the orange fabric, and I used that same Krennic braid to make some cording for this one too. They turned out kind of cute. I have another Halloween one. This is from a class that I took in 2003 from Sisters and Best Friends. My sister and I were at a retreat, a heart and hand retreat. They used to do retreats, and it was a lot of fun. And so one of the classes that we took was this class with Sisters and Best Friends. And it's called Boo. And there's just kind of a diagram of what it's supposed to look like. And so it was a kit. So it came with, this looks like oatmeal Ada or something. So it came with the fabric to stitch it on. Came with the wire and the buttons, and then this black striped fabric for the back. So I just made it into this, put a tassel here at the bottom, black and orange cording. So it's just really cute. And then I have one more Halloween. This is from Leisure Arts Magazine. And those of you that subscribe to Leisure Arts Magazine know how long it's been since they've been out of print. But this is from June of 1994. And it was a contest winner. So it's called Halloween Night by Mary Mills of Concord, New Hampshire. And this is what it is. Looks like she made it into a little tiny bag. But I made it into a stuffed cube. So I'm sure I stitched it on 32 count. That's what I usually stitch it on. And then just made some, got cool. Two colors of the same fabric, one with a light background, one with an orange background. Made some piping, stuffed it, and then put some cording, orange and black cording around it. So these are not the easiest things to make, these stuffed cubes, because you have to make sure the corners are exactly right or it looks all wonky. But this one turned out pretty good. So I'm pleased with it. Okay, I had a lot of white fabric, and I hardly ever stitch on white fabric. So I thought, well, I've been wanting to try to dye some. So I thought, well, I'll try Vanna's Bake and Baste method. And I did 4 pieces, and I think they turned out very well. The first one is, I'm just going to show that. This one's not very modeled looking, but it's the 40 count Verdal, not sure how you pronounce that, but it didn't take the tea and coffee as dark as a couple of the others, but I like it. And it does have some modeling in there. So those of you that aren't familiar with that, I'll try to link it below in the description box. And then I did some 25 count Lugana. Also not too much modeling on there, but I like it. It's a nice neutral. And then I bought some 28 count even weave, the kind that Vanna says that she uses, and it took the dye a little, took the tea and coffee a little better. Got some nice modeling in there. And then I had some opalescent, 32 count opalescent, and I really like this one. This will look good with some Christmas designs. And take heed, if you are going to do this bake and basted method, you really do have to watch it, as Vanna says, because if you're not careful, your little raw edges here will get kind of crispy. So you got to make sure that you time it right and that you move it around when you are checking it after each baking. But I think they turned out very well. I'm very pleased with them. And I'm glad that I tried to do that. So I have some more that I'm either going to do some more coffee tea dyeing, or I'm going to just do some regular dyeing too and see how that works out. Well, of course, I have some acquisitions, and I don't know, it's just, oh, well, before I do the acquisitions, let me do my whips. I have a couple of those going on. The first one is Little House Needleworks monthly samplers, and I'm doing the November. And it's stitched on 36 count linen lamb's wool. And the autumnal stitch along is still going on Little House Needleworks website, so I'm hoping to finish this up in the next couple of days so I can get that posted to that. And I am using the called for threads, so I just have to finish November and then do the 2 borders. So that's cute. And the other one that I'm working on is called Autumn Whimsies. It's a scissor tail design. And I have plans to stitch all 4 of these, but right now I'm working on the autumn. I stitched this on a 25 count Floba. And I didn't realize how rough that felt. And I did change the colors. I used some of the DMC, and then I pulled out some others. Now, these pumpkins, these 4 small ones, were supposed to be the same color as the word autumn. Well, there's not a whole lot of color in this, because green and then all of these different browns. So I chose to do these 4 in an orange, and I believe I chose 919 or 920, one of those 900 oranges. So here's some acorns up here. So I just have to finish these boughs up here, and that'll be done. It's really not a hard thing to stitch, very quickly done. I've only been working on it a couple of days. So I did have to use 3 strands of floss though to make sure that it was covering correctly. And I don't really like to use 3 strands of floss, but it really does make it cover nicely and gives it a lot of texture there. So I'm happy with that. Now it's time for acquisitions. And of course, it's October, Halloween month. And I'm a big Brenda Gervais fan, so of course I have to get some Brenda Gervais Halloween charts. And this one is called Witch Pumpkin. I'm not sure I'll make it into a little pouch. We'll see. I like all those different pumpkins. And then I also got Witch's Night Out. That would be cute, stitched on one of my tea and coffee dyed pieces. And a while ago I was watching Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, one of her videos, and she was showing some things that she might be working on in October, and she showed this. Thankful Quaker by Bent Creek. So I immediately had to go find this because I just think it's so cute. So I like that a lot. And then while I was looking for Thankful Quaker, I found Holly Quaker Stocking by Bent Creek. Now when I ordered this, I did not realize it was so large. It's stitched on 18 count over 2. So it's pretty big. I'm probably not going to make it that big. I don't know. I think all of these Quakers are very cute in here. I like this ornament. And so we're almost to the middle of October. Christmas is fast approaching, so of course you have to have some Christmas graphs, charts. So this one is Merry Noel by Brenda Gervais. Looking forward to stitching that one. This one is called Be of Good Cheer by the Scarlet House. And it is stitched on 28 count khaki cream gingham from Weeks Dye Works, and it's stitched over 1. I don't know if I will manage to do that or not. But I think it's cute. I like this little border down here with the red background with the white snowflakes. So that's cute. And then I also got another Rami Creations. This one is Christmas. It's called Happiness is Decorating. And it's the pillow says Happiness is Decorating Trees. And it came with these little buttons, ornament buttons here. And it's stitched on the 32 count petty point, raw and white. It's cute. Well, I'm not a whole big fan of a lot of primitive things. I am a fan of patriotic things. So this is Tree of Life Samplings, and it's called Glory Glory. And I guess you could consider that a sampler, but it does have words. But I just think that's a nice looking chart. So I'm pleased with that. Well, I think I have about gone through all of my things. It's not a very long video this time, so hopefully I can get this uploaded and edited and out in the next couple of days. Like most of you, I'm having to find a new video editor because I was using the YouTube video editor, but they have since September 20th, that's no longer in existence. So I'm going to try my hand at another editor and see what I can do with that. So hopefully it won't be too confusing and I won't mess up the video at all. So I thank you all for watching, and I hope that you have a great stitching week. And I hope that if you love Halloween, that you have a great Halloween. And I am looking forward to watching some of your videos, and I appreciate you watching my videos. So until next time, bye.